you're always worried, you know. I think especially on the Otakaro, I get pretty worried sometimes. I mean, everyone knows it, there's rowers and kayakers down there as well with us, and we all sort of laugh about it and joke about it. You've got to have a shower afterwards, you know. You can, I have had skin infections before, you know, just itchy skin and different things like that. So it does happen, and especially after rain, when it rains a lot. We know that in Christchurch, for example, you have a sewage overflow, plus stormwater as well, but especially the sewage overflows are pretty traumatic, I reckon. So we, you know, we're always conscious after a rainfall event, but you know, if we have to train, we want to train, so we get out there. We just be careful, mate. You keep your mouth shut, you know, when you're paddling, and you just don't fall in. So I train all over the place, but the Hurutini is one place that I can do it. Also train on the Otakaro, the Avon River in Christchurch, and also on Whakaropo, which is Littleton Harbour. Yeah, always out there, probably every couple of days on the river, especially when we're training for nationals or a big event. And I find that it's a good way to connect with the awa, especially for urban waterways, which might be degraded. And so we don't have our traditional sort of relationship in terms of food gathering anymore, or we choose not to. But I find that the paddling helps us keep a connection to the place, which, you know, that's what I think is really important. The Hurutini here is just one catchment that flows into Waihora. Now, Waihora is the #1 worst lake in New Zealand, most degraded lake. And obviously, being tangata whenua, that doesn't make me real proud. So I smile, but I'm sort of laughing on the inside. It's, you know, it's sad. It's real sad. Like at our marae is famous for pātiki, for flounders, and for feeding flounders and tuna as well, but mainly flounders, and feeding them to our manuhiri. Well, we don't feed them to our manuhiri anymore. We can't, because we don't want to make people sick. I suppose the big value for me and my people is mahinga kai. So our food gathering practices, that's really my life in a way, is underneath it all is to try and make our waterways clean. Swimmable is one thing, but I want to be able to eat out of them, and that's the real value for me. I want my kids to be able to come down here. You know, when you swim, you swallow a bit of water, eh? And so I'd rather it be pretty healthy, so healthy enough to eat out of, because then you can swim in it too. Even when me and my uncles and stuff go out on the lake and go fishing, we sort of just have to laugh about it, you know. But you almost want to cry, but you know, you just have to laugh, because we don't want to give up our customary right to fish that lake. We think as soon as we stop fishing, then the lake's going to die. So that's our sort of belief. Or everyone will go, well, what's the use of looking after it anymore? Because I feel like we're the last bastion of people that really, I know a lot of the community have jumped on board around the lake, but not to that level of wanting to eat from it, you know, and have that relationship at that real intimate level, you know. So when we go out to the lake, it's green, you know, and that's not cool. If I can't gather food, then I'll paddle, and I'll keep my relationship with it, and I'll keep showing the locals, the farmers or the township people here, that I care about that waterway. It's not really just for me. I don't do it for me as a human. It's actually about those species that live in the waterway, especially our tuna, our pātiki, our inanga. You know, I want them to have a good life. And you know, and I suppose in a Māori sense, they're our tuakana. That's the way I look at it. Same with the plants and the birds. They were here before us, and so they need to have that life. It's their waterway, it's their world actually, as well as ours. So I try to put that balance back into the situation. Yeah. So Waka Ama National is on this week up in Lake Ellesmere, so on the Waikato River. So another waterway that's had a bit of trouble with its water quality. Even Lake Ellesmere has had some issues, with sometimes we've been up there and it's actually been black. But you know, so you know, no matter where you go with waterways, there's issues, and we're pretty excited about getting up to Waka Ama Nationals, and my team's looking pretty good. We're hoping to blow some people off the water from the North Island there, represent Te Waiponamu, so it's going to be cool.